Battery tonight, really limited battery. So it is 7:45, probably going to be working till midnight tonight. I'm going to put that up, the light, and do the light switch. And that's step one. Step two, putting the floor down is a big job, and we'll see how much we can do that today. I'm aware there's a couple of little gaps in here that I should really try and get some builders to fill in, but I don't know how fast it's going to set. If it's going to even set in a couple of hours, maybe I'm just going to use more hardener. And step three, get this ladder up and basically cut some trees. Those trees over there where the power lines are going. So cut them down while I can. Good job. Okay, got to even this floor out. So I'm going to fill in these holes there and there and there. And yeah, why not for those two as well. And then even out the floor. So that has to happen before anything else because that needs a little bit of time. And last job is to cut these trees down where those power lines are going through. I don't have daylight anymore, so I've just got to do it from here. Nice trees, bad placing. Oh well, there's two of them. So we'll do that in the dark. Well, I'll have a torch, but and a saber saw. Oh well. I was using the car as headlights for visuals, but oh well. Looks like it's a lot more of this. One other little thing while I think about it, I'm doing this so that they don't get tangled up in the lines, obviously, as they fall. And I'm doing this now because we're going to get the power turned on tomorrow so that we can clean properly. So this is much, like this should only be done with the power off from the street, really. So good chance to do it. As you can see, it's not the first time or even the second, maybe you can't see it, yeah, or even the second time this tree's been topped, but all these branches are growing out to the side like this. So just gonna have to go all around the main trunk here and climbing trees at night. Love it. So it was fun. It doesn't look pretty, lots of carnage, but the lines are free. Probably have to come and do this again a couple of years time, but or I just get the whole thing cut down. That's probably easier too, because this thing's in a really bad spot. But what do you do? Really be beneficial for us to have a pole here for both fiber and power to sort of be run to as an interim before it gets to the house, because it just doesn't have enough clearance over the lawn. Oh well, I see those two are the next ones to destroy. I'll tell you what, it's a great way to work up a sweat. You probably can't see this, but that's all clear now, all the way down to the power pole. So, fuck yeah. Whew, okay, we've burnt through a full battery. Now I'll go inside, I'll do some quick electrical things and see if I can do a little bit of film of the flooring stuff, because that's actually kind of cool. Okay, quick. Just like that. Okay, so now fan, light switch, go. And just like that, we have a fan, a light fitting, and a light switch. Okay, sweep the floor. That stuff is hard now, so sand that over, double check for any little nails and shit. And finally, start doing my laminate. Hey guys, it's the second night, as you can see. I'm getting pretty shaggy. So you get for just doing too much, I suppose, and not taking care of yourself. But I thought I'd show you, as you can see, fruits of our labour have paid off. all that work and effort and danger. Working on a slippery slope up 6 meters in the air, cutting trees at night with a saber saw in one hand and a torch in the other. It's over, and now we have power, so that's great. That's excellent. We've temporarily turned it on, and then when we get a tenant in, they'll just swap and should be fine. But now we can vacuum the place up and that sort of thing. But I just wanted to show you some of the flooring, the final piece, pretty much. So this is what we got. This piece here I will be leaving for tomorrow. Emma's got to go and clean a house for the dad, so that's all that. But it's come up pretty nice. You can still sort of tell that there are joins in some places, like there, but with your finger, you just about can't scratch it with your fingernail. This one here, this board, which was a sort of special cut to go around the corner, is slightly depressed or lower than the one next to it. So there's like a tiny lip on that, which is a bit of a shame, and that's the last piece. So it's actually, like, spacing wise, worked out pretty damn well. So what we're going to do is simply measure that up and go, alright, 300 by, go from that one, 110. You don't need to be millimeter accurate with this because you've got a tiny lip all the way around. That basically, next step is to silicone all this up. Yeah, super easy. I ripped off a little piece of cloth and put it underneath the one under the window because the timber itself had a low point or a depression, and it was uneven, so fabric's probably my best bet there to just squish really hard where it needs to and stay otherwise pretty good. Ramblings of a tired person. So here's a piece that I scored and then tried to push and snap the whole thing at once, because I got a whole plank, because I wanted like one whole plank if I could to go and cover as much in this last little space as I could. But this one broke in bad spots and fucked up. But that's alright. I've been able to use it pretty much entirely anyway for this last little bit. So it's the right width. So I'm just going to go bang, 300 there, measure it properly of course, get my square out, score it. The renovator's coming in super handy, couldn't have done this without the renovator. So I'll score that and then show you how it slots in. Oh, and snap it. Alright, so here it is. I've scored it twice. You can't see the line at all, can you? Oh, there you go. Scored it twice, and so now quite simply just gotta there we go, pin it over your knee like a stick, easy. So one thing to keep in mind as well is that you've got edges like this on this material and they basically just slot into each other. So if the long edge is going to go down like that, sort of take it nearly at a vertical, keep pressure on, and slip it into place, just like that. It's a little bit harder to get these sideways joins, and you're supposed to have it perfectly lined up and then use a rubber mallet to tap on. I don't have one of those. Couldn't be bothered getting one either. So just be firm and it works out pretty good. You can hear that. And that's actually worked a treat. I wasn't hitting it hard enough apparently. Oh, awesome. I was worried about that as a gap. So sweet. That's great. So, that's the flooring done except for this join here, but we'll figure that out tomorrow. I'll put the scotia on tomorrow, but tonight before I go home, I ended up stopping at like 2 o'clock yesterday with no battery life left on either battery. Yeah, I'll just focus up and make a real nice neat job of silicone around the edge, around the shower, and around the vanity, and around the toilet. And then another one, and I know this is going to be covered by the Scotia, but I still don't really want to keep this as tight as possible in here. So that's what we'll be up to. Alright, so just like that, we'll call it a night, 1:30. I'm not getting much sleep. But we've got the trim on as well. We've underscored the corners, one down in there. These two, this is like a temporary solution with the 2C channel types, but it's just a little bit flappy and not great, but it kind of looks the part, so we'll see how we go. But I'm done for the night. This is gonna be worth it. Yay. Also, red blood moon tonight, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, got to chat with Emma just before over the phone and catch up and stare at it from 2 different places. So that was good. That was good. Not just busy. Gotta take your breaks. Smell the roses. Look at the moons. Okay. See ya. Good everyone. Back again, doing some finishing touches. I've got young Roman playing in that room, but he does not like the sound of construction, unfortunately. But I have to get used to it for a little bit. Emma's nipple training. She's sort of running that, so this is what I've got to do for one of my finishing touches. I've marked out and drilled some holes where these slots are going to be, and that should line up with these handles here. We're basically going to pack this out a little bit with some of this sort of timber, some of this sort of wood, because this is only like 10 mil thick, so it makes up some difference. But yeah, pack this in and hide this out. So this is what you got to do. This is a jigsaw, and we're going to get into it. But what he does love is to be picked up, held for a little while, and then loves looking outside, loves looking at that. And who can blame him, honestly? Who can blame him? Hey? It's pretty cool, isn't it? You can even see some stars. Just needs a little bit of attention once in a while, every 5 minutes or so. So, goodbye old stove. The old Shacklock 501, we will see you later. And just like that. Pulled it up. I mean, there's still a little bit of flex in this bottom bit, but I've got nothing really fixed to back there. Didn't end up packing it out either, just straight in, because there was this little recess. So yeah, it'll do. The circular hole, I wish I had a 100mm hole saw, but I got like a 90mm hole saw, but well, that does the job. Bit of a shame. And then that one there looks pretty on the piss too. These ones good. Those two, yeah. That's a shame. It's a real shame. It fits. Okay, so next challenge: getting one of these and cutting it down for this. And then I've got Guthrie Bowron actually went in and asked some questions, and the guy just gave me a pewter for carpet, and then like a more ashen color, I suppose. And said industry practice says like this is what you're supposed to do. It looks like that one's too short. What a shame. So we're going to go with this one. And the idea is that we get another layer of this, pack that out that far, so I've got to detail it around my quirks and shit there, and my architrave and trim, and then cut this to length. Basically, I'll put nails through the holes and put this down so that it actually rests over the top of this other floor, of this laminate, and then pull and stretch the carpet so that it hooks on to all these little bits, and then I think you're supposed to just sort of hammer down that curve so it really tucks in. So yeah, so apparently that's what best practice is for the industry, so that's really, really good to know. Definitely going to be buying some paint from Guthrie Barron thanks to the helpfulness of that gentleman. Excellent, excellent salesmanship. Good shit, man. I'll remember that. Okay, so first step, better cut and measure one of these out to that gap exactly. Also, Emma's finally sort of finished painting along there. Now they look at it, the window's cream and the wall, everything's white. Damn. We normally would try and use a different paint for the architrave there. More like resistant stuff, but just don't have the money at the moment. Maybe when this place starts generating some, we'll get there. Go. Yeah, all right. So, flooring, that's me. So, cut this to size. I've trimmed back my underlay, and then this will just slot in just nicely like that. So the goal is to make this flush with the real floor, and I'm just going to work on that for a sec. Okay, now that that's nice and in, measure and cut my rail here to length, and then I'll just hammer that in just on the other side of this. Trim my carpet to length. Let's stick it up a little bit, so let's use a punch and get them down nice and flat. Emma's helping with Roman now. Stretched and pulled and cut and just literally just pulled it as far as I could and hooked it on, and then tucked edges under there, so like bits like that where the little shit bits have run away. Bit of a problem, but now we're going to try use this to prevent it from bending and stuff. Probably cut it just a touch shorter. Place that all the way across and then use a hammer to really bang that down and make it flat. But that's feeling pretty good. Cool. So that's worked out pretty well. I can see just a little bit there still, but worked out pretty well. I've also, if you've noticed, recessed it back just a touch, so then there's no way in hell I was ever going to mess with the door. The door should close up against our trim there. So yeah, that's a good solution. All right. Sweet, now I need to fix some cupboards. So with cupboards, not much to say. It's just that it's really fiddly. There is 2 screws in here. Probably better to show you on that one. So that screw adjusts the slide in and out, and that screw adjusts the depth crossways. And that one there is the height of the whole sort of mechanism. But yeah, you've just got to play with it to try and get them as close as you can at the top and at the bottom, and yeah, get those gaps as even as you can. But like, see the height difference there? But there's not much I'm going to be able to do about that. But they definitely open a bit better now. We're going to have to get a new handle because that drawer's missing one. Don't know if I'll be even making these ones, but that's alright. Kitchen's all nice and painted. Thank you, Emma. Very nice. That looks great. Yeah, that's alright. Yeah, and I noticed that the windowsill in the bathroom is a different colour cream to the white of the rest of the walls. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Alright, so what else can we think of? I've got to put this door back on when all that paint is nice and dry. Fuck, I'm happy with that, how that thing came out. Fan, bathroom's pretty much done. Probably just some outside stuff to do. I mean, that looks like crap, but it's like, pretty much like cardboard. When it gets wet, it just doesn't really want to move much past that. So that'll have to do for now. This wallpaper's been stuck back in with some glue. It's not good, and we know that, but we've just got to get this rented out. It's not even income. It's just like the burden of paying for the rates and insurance and the mortgage on this house. Just that constant burden of having to come up with that extra massive chunk of cash every week to offset that. It's just going to be so much better to be able to get more stuff happening here. So that's pretty much it. We're just going to tidy this whole thing up and finishing touches. We're away to Emma's parents on Queen's birthday weekend, which is this weekend coming up. So that was the weekend we sort of hoped to have this thing rented out by, but looks like it's not the case. Tenant that we had lined up reckons he needs till Friday to confirm things, so see how we go. But yeah, that's it. I won't really film any of the touching ups, but we'll see you on the next project. See ya. Bye guys.
Bye.